Ah, meu filho tem 4 letras com mar. Mas com certeza todos os caminhos passam lá. Ah, meu filho tem 4 letras com mar. Mas com certeza todos os caminhos passam lá.
Hi everybody, welcome to Rock Beats. Yeah, it's that kind of day today. Looks like we're waiting on Marley here. And of course we're trying to please Mr. Jonathan. Dre is in the building also. What's going on, man? You muted.
Hold on. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm doing good. How you doing today?
Background music down a little bit.
All right.
Oh man, how you doing, dude?
I'm chilling.
I've yet to meet you, so I guess we can formally meet each other today.
Yeah, I got too much light going on.
Let me introduce you to my shadow.
Okay.
He never leaves my side. And as you can see, he's a little busy right now. So
Yep.
Yeah. And I'm not sure where Marley is. I think he got some connection issues because he's here, like he's in the backstage, but his is not connected. So
yeah, I just seen his
screen
pop up, but that happened last week too when we was on. But
okay,
he should make it through.
No, but nevertheless, show must go on, right?
Right.
It ain't no biggie. We gotta rock out with what we got. Hold on. Can you go upstairs? Mommy wants you. Mommy's calling me. Look. Mommy's got the thing. I'll be right back.
It's all right. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Just gonna let the music play in the background. Play in the background. Heard Simone Biles is injured. Let me look it up real quick.
All right. I see Marley just left a message. She said, not sure why y'all can't hear me. I can see and hear y'all. Yeah, we can't see you at all, dude.
Yeah, see or hear.
Let's see. Let me add you to the stream. So all we got on our screen, Marley, is just blackness.
A little circle just spinning in
just
the middle.
spinning. So if you can hear us, strange. Yeah, that's some wickedness there, man. What's her name? Because she got you down bad. She making sure you ain't got no success in this. She's like, She gonna keep you from these girls out here.
Oh man.
Well, nevertheless, hopefully, okay, we got something.
Got an avatar, a little.
Well, they had an avatar.
Yep.
So that's the name, huh?
That is the name. That's
okay.
Kind of a long story of how I came up with it, but actually, I've been rapping for a while, and I said it in a song, and then like later when I was trying to figure out, I had like a couple of different Instagram pages, and then I said I wanted to focus one like more just on production.
Okay.
And it just clicked one day. I just remember saying it, and I heard it in my head, and I said I'm gonna go with it, use it, and it's just gonna be what it is. Yeah. And
I think it's dope, man.
But people who caught on to it, so a lot of people call me Dot, or it's kind of funny because like my name is Dre, but you know, you like on Instagram and like other artists or producers, they yo, what's up, Dot, and you know, it's fine.
Right? No, I think it's dope. I mean, it's always. I always look at it like this. There's always that one name that you don't think that's gonna stick. That's
absolutely stick, right.
Yeah. Like, I was just telling this to my to some of my coworkers. When I was in high school, I had a nickname that I absolutely hated. Right, yep. And it was it's a long story behind it. Yep. Nevertheless, to this day, my boys still call me Poke. P-O-K-E, and it just stuck. Like I got me to this day. Like they'll call me like, "Hey, Poke, what's up?" And I'm like, "Why do y'all still call me this? Like that? We're not children anymore. I'm a grown man, dog.
Yeah.
Me Poke no more, man."
Yeah.
But no, they still call me that. And here's the tripped out thing, because of course I'm like the third Willie in my family.
Okay.
I'm named after my dad, which is named after his dad. So whenever my grandma would see me, she would always call me Little Willie because he was Big Willie, right? She called me that until her death day.
Yeah.
Like she's always called me that, and everyone called me Little Willie, Little Willie.
Yeah.
Like, can I ever get away from that?
Right.
So
right.
I named my son Willie, right?
Right.
No, he still call me Little Willie. I'm just like, come on, man. I want to get away from that. So it's always that little thing that sticks, man.
Yep.
Always that little
can't
thing.
Get away from it, can't escape it. So you just kind of gotta let it go.
Man,
it's in the hands of whoever, you know. It just is what it is. So
man, it just throws me off, man. Sometimes, but it is what it is. So where you from, man?
I'm in Rochester, New York.
Okay,
it's probably about. I'd say we about like 6 hours away from like New York City.
Oh, okay.
So it's we like upstate, like Buffalo, Syracuse, like that type of area, whatever.
You know, one of the other people that's in our group is from upstate New York.
Oh, okay.
Nana.
Okay.
She's from upstate New York.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Her show is Rock Bottom, which airs every other Saturday. And so it actually airs on 6 o'clock every other Saturday. So when you get a chance, man, try to check that out. Yeah,
that was a crazy thing when I was just looking up stuff when Selena like contacted me, and I was like going through the page, and I said, "There's like a show like." There's like so many different shows. I was like, "What is like? This is like a whole." I was like, "You got the." Is there like one on relationships or
Roxy?
And I was like, this is so it's like a whole streamline of like shows and stuff.
Yeah. Well, think of so that was not the plan.
Right.
At all, right?
Yeah.
So the way like during conception, it was this Selena now she over here in the chat. But even during conception, as we're thinking about, how to do this, because we started out as just a little podcast on Podbean, and there was all kind of technical issues in the beginning, and it was just me and her, right?
Yeah.
So and the pillar, the one of the biggest pillars was that we were having kingdom related or kingdom driven, God to kingdom of God driven conversation.
Yep.
And the conversation didn't always need to lead or didn't always need to reference Jesus. It just needed to be pointing in the general direction of what God wants us to do. He wants us to be kind. He wants us to be loving. He wants us to be loving and thoughtful of one another, be respectful of one another. And we've in this world we've perverted that, and we've taken it to the point where, like, when we have a conversation with our boys, it's always, man, I can't wait till I get with that girl over there.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
How many times have you just have a conversation with somebody and it's just a conversation, an intelligent conversation about a subject or about a thing? You don't have to involve, murder and all of these other things, So
I'll be struggling.
Right.
It's so funny. Like you mentioned that. It's like, and that's why I kind of stay away from the news, because I always find out that the news, whatever mood I'm in, especially if I'm in a good mood, it just kind of brings me down a little bit. Oh, yeah. So it's like, since I noticed that, I noticed, like, when I'm around certain people and it's like, hey, then they start talking about stuff and ain't got nothing to do with nothing good. Yeah. And it just kind of brings, you know what I mean? Yeah. It just, so when you say that, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. And so it changes the energy, right? And so what God calls us to be is he calls us first and foremost to be friends to one another, right? He calls us to be respectful to one another. So we should be able to walk into a room, and like I said, this is one of the pillars. We should be able to walk into a room full of strangers and just be able to strike up a conversation. Oh yeah. Not just because we're just talking, but because we have a commonality. We human beings.
Yep. Live in the same world too. Yeah.
Right. It's not even about Christianity. It's about the fact that we're humans. Like we live here, and this is the place that we have. This is what we have. So can we have that conversation? So that's how it kind of all started with this with RockTrue.
Okay.
And so she kind of came up with the name and
came
up with the format and the process and everything else. And when you go back and watch the old shows,
you gotta start somewhere though.
I mean, it's not that they rough, but you can just tell the growth from there to here. Like I've had shows where it was just at first it was just one show, and then it turned into, I think it went from one show to two shows, then from two shows to three shows, and then somewhere down the line, people that we would get on the show to just to interview and whatnot. Yep. They would end up becoming a host of their own show.
Right.
And so it started dawning on us that we're creating, and we had this guy on our show, Napoleon. I can't remember his last name right now, but I got a video, and I actually did an entire video on just the blueprint, right?
Okay.
And he said what we're doing is we're culturally making, we're culturally bringing people together to be able to do this thing. And that's when it dawned on us, this is what God's plan was all along. Yeah. It wasn't just to start a show. It was to allow people to come to a platform to start their shows, to be able to express themselves, for them to be able to allow God's word to be expressed through them. So it's not a coincidence that we have 7 shows now.
Yeah,
Dude, I produced 7 shows. Do you understand? Do you understand?
That's what I was saying. When I was looking, I was like, okay, this is, and I was like, oh wait, there's another one. I'm like, here's another one. Here's another one. Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
How it's, dude. One show is hard.
Oh yeah.
One show is enough to produce. I'm now 8 shows. 8. You go for 8 shows.
They got so high you don't even know what's going on. Right.
So many shows. But the great part about it is each show has its own unique flavor. right? And the really weird thing is like I had struggled with this at the beginning. Selena doesn't know this, but at the beginning I was like, you know, and I was in a mode. I was like, everybody had the same production, everybody had the same production notes. I would always click, 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 and I kept it that way, right? And I started realizing something in the algorithm of YouTube. When you do that, it's just saying, okay, this is all the same show, so we're not going to push the numbers at all. So I was like, okay, I got to do something different. So then Rock Single came up, and when Rock Single came up, I started like dropping little bits of comedy in it. You know, like I can say something and I'll put something on screen that made everybody laugh. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I got to do that for each show. I got to have something. There's got to be a different format. There's got to be a different, you know, something's got to be laid back. Because you got some shows like this show. This show is way more laid back.
Okay. Yep.
But the Queen show is very strict. It's like they get on camera and they're women, they're talking, and you know, and everything is very. But some of this, like the science show, that's a little bit more interactive. The cooking show on Saturdays, right? That's way more interactive.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So all of these different shows, and what it did for me, it actually stretched me in my creativity, because normally I'm very, you know, like I have pencil, paper.
Yep. Right on point. Yep.
Now it's like I got pencil and I might have some paper, or I got a wall. Yeah. I'll draw on that. Right? So it's expanding me. And so what I love about it, I'm rambling right now, but what I love about it
go ahead.
Is that moments like this come into play, right? Where I don't know you. This is the first time you meet you, right? Yep. I mean, I've seen you a couple times in the chat, and I saw you a couple times on the show. But here we are having a grand conversation,
right?
And we just meeting, right?
Like,
so that's what it's always going to be about. Like that's the number 2 pillar, that we be able to get on here and have that heart to heart, regardless of who we are or where we come from.
Right.
You know, whatever ethnicity you want to call yourself, and whatever gender you want to refer to yourself as.
Yep. Absolutely.
We still can have a conversation.
Like you said, we are human. We are human. We live in the same world. We the same stuff going on. We all got issues. We all have good things. We all got bad things. And so I like to see it like when you can find common ground with somebody with something, and then you just go from there. And then after that, I can just learn from you. You can learn from me, and then it just builds upon itself, and it's I feel the same way.
Yeah, Marley is struggling tonight, and I know the feeling, because and you know this. You a techie. You got to deal with a lot.
Yeah.
Man, when technology works, it is a beautiful thing. But when it don't.
Yep.
Oh my God.
And it likes to come like when you need it. When you need it to work, that's when it don't want to work. Oh, you know, it never just doesn't work when you just messing around. But it's like when you prepare, then it's like I got it.
Man,
you good to go, and the tech just like not right now.
See, I went to school formally for graphic design, right?
Okay.
So this is actually not what I'm into at all.
Right, okay.
Video production of it. But when it comes to like the radio hosting, not my biggest. Like I'm not good at, but it's not something. I'm not the stage guy. Like I'm the stage hand.
Yeah.
Right.
I got you.
I'm the stage hand. I'm good with the stage hand. I'm good with it. But when you put me in the front, I'm like,
just
But this platform kind of boosted that and kind of brought me to the forefront, right? And said, okay, no longer stagehand, now I'm in the stage, you know. And so, it's been a wild ride, and I can't wait to see what's next.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, and I'm gonna share some of this stuff with you, like some of the videos that we got in a minute here.
Okay.
But I want to ask you, I want this because I know this is the beat show, so I want to kind of steer towards music and so forth. You being from the New York area, like, what's that like, man? Because like, I love hip hop, I love music in general, and you basically are in the mecca of music, right?
Right.
You're in the starting of all music genres ever. So
Right.
what's that like being so close?
I'm not actually, because I'm not in New York City.
Yeah.
So I know it's like definitely like a little bit different, but you know, we right outside or whatever. But it's kind of weird because as you start to see now that like the music has kind of changed.
Yeah.
It, you know, I guess it's more like the younger type music, and it kind of sounds more like the stuff that's like down south.
Yeah.
It kind of got to this point where like it's kind of like taking over even in New York. And like even like the way of dress, where you got like, you know, with the grills and stuff like that, or you know, even like the style of, you know, the dreads are like heavy up here now, like where it seemed like before, like we were late on that, and we were, or like you kind of like East Coast, where you got like East Coast hip hop.
Yeah, yeah.
We were in there for a while, and we like held it for a while.
Right.
And then once kind of the South came and like, you know, did its thing.
Yeah.
It kind of influenced even the way like a lot of New York artists like rap up here. I mean, like the past couple of years, I find out people who like from New York, and like from what I'm used to, like New York or, you know, or East Coast, you know, rap sounding like, it's like, oh, I thought they were from somewhere else. I had no idea like they was from up here, you know.
Right.
So like just kind of like more recently, it's kind of like lost it a little from what we were like kind of used to, or like our stamp, or, you know, with the music production, the type of the way we like rap, you know, it's a little bit like different now. But that's kind of more on a like a popular level. I mean, you still have, when you start to go on like independent stuff, then you can kind of find whatever you want.
Yeah.
And you know, it's kind of like I gotta search for like the music that I kind of like.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not as just out there. I gotta like kind of go looking for it a little bit more. But you know, I love music, so I'm ready to go find it or whatever. And that's kind of like the music that I do. But I'm older, so you know, I haven't really dabbled in trying to go like the younger route, because I don't think that's me. So you know, and some of that stuff I don't think I'd be able to like pull it off, or you know, especially like even beat wise and stuff like that. But you know, it's to me like it's kind of like a mixture, you know, a kind of like old and new, different areas. I'd say I can hear like a lot of like Southern music like influence more now, but still at the same time, like there's still artists and still old, you know, artists who still making music that I still like listen to. So it's here, and with the internet that helps, because it gives you the opportunity to like make your own way.
Right.
You know, I don't have to go to the radio. I can make a song today and just have it stream. I can put it up whenever I want to. You know what I'm saying? You know, so
it I don't know how old you are, but when my day was coming up, getting good music from anywhere was difficult.
Oh yeah.
Like, if you didn't have, like, I came up with cassettes, right?
Yeah.
You know, and cassettes was a big thing, but like I remember my first cassette was DMX.
Okay.
Right, and I played it till it broke.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know?
I know that.
You know, and so the crazy part about it, like, but this was the crazy part about, like, even though that was my little world, when I started expanding into different genres of music and different artists of music, I'm starting to think like myself, like, where has all this been?
Right. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yep.
Oh, look, we got Marley. Oh, Marley.
Yeah, man. Yo.
Boy, hey,
my brother.
Hey, so we got a little thing. We got a little thing. No, you get it too. We got a little thing.
Bring it on. Come on.
This used to happen way back in the day, where people get on here and for whatever reason, their internet connection just used to be bad, and we used to call them boosts.
Hey, my brethren, check it. I just had to switch from one phone to the next. You see,
Okay.
that's all it took. Don't ask me why this the new phone right here. That's the old phone I'm using
Right.
now. But hey, man,
Wow.
whatever we got to do, make it happen. That's
Right.
kind of talking bad about technology right here. You know,
Yeah,
serious
we just
wickedness.
work.
Wicked, man, wicked. This happen all too often, my good brethren. Hey, man, I'm loving the show. Continue the conversation. I'm gonna chime in here, and that's how I think.
Yeah. But no, like I was saying, it was difficult to find music. It was difficult to find, the music that I really wanted to listen to. And I mean, as time went on, I learned how to go get it on my own. But then I started looking. When I started looking for and learning more about it. Hey. We gotta take a moment because he clearly needs my attention right now. Yeah.
Go ahead, tell him.
But now I lost my train of thought. Okay. So Marley, how you doing, man? Because I lost my train of thought.
Yes, sir. Yo, everything's been wonderful, man. Let me make a quick announcement, man. It's something new that's coming on the agenda here. August 28th, out my way here in Gary, Indiana, right on Lake Street at Vibrations, Juice Bar and Wellness Shop. Hey, man, I'm about to be performing live down in the Lyrics in the Lavender Lounge. You check, it's about to be something serious, a special vibe cooking up, man. I got some real deep worldly music coming away, man. So everybody should forward out if they're gonna be in the Gary, Indiana area. Reach out to me. You can get at me on the Instagram at Marley King LF. Holla at me in the DM, and I'll go ahead and get you some tickets, man. We running tickets like $8 to $10, man. Your check is gonna be something serious, man. Real holistic vibes. If you understand what I'm saying, it's about to be really deep, man. So everybody should come forward out if they're in the Gary region. Give thanks, man. Yes, sir. little promotion here for upcoming events, man. It's gonna be a real nice piece, We just started doing some rehearsal this past Friday. Getting to peep the vibe and stuff like that. And one thing I want to say about this, man, I look at myself as a professional, okay? With what I do. I'm an artist, but I'm a professional with what I do, especially with the way I conduct myself. And one thing that turns me off, especially about collabing with people, is that people tend to abuse substances and get out of control, man, and they tend to lose their focus and they tend to be all over the place. Look, man, when I come to work, man, I come to work to do my job, Yeah. I don't come to play around, man. It's work before play. Yeah. And when I come together with a group of folks like that and people are all over the place, I really get a disheartening feeling inside of me, I really take passion and pride in what I do, man. My music is beautiful. It really got a message to preach. I love to come up and perform and do performance and do shows with folks, but we got to keep it professional. I done ran into one too many unprofessional situations throughout my tenure in the music world, which is roughly since 2011. So we're looking at about 10 years in the game right now, on and off a little bit depending on the situation. But I done traveled around, did shows down in Miami when I was living down there, and I ran into a lot of the same nonsense, man. I'll be on the stage rocking the mic, and then my mic ain't working, and I'm looking back at the DJ booth, and everybody on their phones texting and stuff like that, and they're not really in tune with the vibe. Me, right. I'm a musical artist, man, so I could vibe to the music, man. If I'm running the DJ booth, I'm gonna be in tune with your sound because I want your sound and your set to sound proper. Absolutely. Everything has to be laid out in an organized structure, man. And I can't do it all myself. But at the same time, man, I think I gotta start speaking up a little more, man. I tend to be a big-hearted guy, be an empath for a lot of folks, man. But when it's time to work, man, it's time to work, man. You understand?
I'm gonna tell you this now, man. When it comes to creativity in general, and not just your creativity, not just your music, not just what you got going on. The reality of it is, just like you said, we got to stay in that professional lane. And understand that it's not just about me, it's about the project, right? It's about the group in general.
Yeah, man.
So
the collective, exactly.
The collective unit, right? So if you the one that's with the beat, then and you for the most part you the boss, then you gotta make that step and be like, hey, this has gotta be. What y'all do after this is on y'all. But right now, I need your full undivided attention, because it messes with the craft. It messes with the how it feels, right? It messes.
It's a ritual, man. It's a ritual, man. You know, conjuring of that vibration.
Right, and you can't afford that, you know. And the reason I say that, is because I was when I was preaching more regularly at my church, sometimes the members, they would do certain things, right? And here I am, I'm teaching and I'm preaching and I'm doing my thing, but then you see that over there and it's like sit down, like you're distracting.
It's like grade school again, man.
You know, you're not distracting me, but you're distracting somebody else, because I see it and now they see it. So now they're not hearing the word of God. So guess what? They just missed
the message misconstrued, man.
Right. And so the same thing goes for your craft, your music, your anything. If your team is not prepared for the work, it's not that you need to get rid of your team, but it's just one of those moments you just be like, look, I need you to get it on point, and I need you to be solid. And this is the time frame that we got to be solid. Everything else, you can do everything you want to do after this time. You're gonna be here. We got to do the work, because the message, the thing that we're trying to put out there is far more important than any one individual. You know. So kudos, man. Don't take your hat off.
I understand, my Bridget. You know what's funny? The way that you concluded that is the way that I concluded the little sermon I was preaching to the cats, man, about, listen, man, y'all coming together, acting wicked and out of funk, man. I said, get with the funk, man. Y'all need to really look in the mirror and check yourselves, man. We come together as a unit, man. And after that, man, I got up there and I rocked the mic, and I done had the whole room of 10 people, man, vibing out, man. And it goes to show you the power of music, and then the power of yourself as well, especially when you really put time and effort into your craft, man. Whether it's me rhyming, or it's Dre making the beat, or it's you doing your artistry, your graphic design, it really it really need to flow out like so, man. It's a serious piece, man. You could really witness the power of the craft in itself, man, when you get up on the stage, or when you get up on to a particular platform, man, to showcase what you got, your talent, your art, in a sense. And it's beautiful to watch that happen and watch the power of it. Something that I've noticed, especially working the job that I work, especially my day job. I work 6 to 11 o'clock in the morning, and then I come back and drive from 4 to 6 o'clock. And I deal with a lot of elderly, disabled, I guess I'd say, or people with disabilities. We're just using the mainstream terms. That's not, those words don't reflect my thoughts. Right. Those are just the mainstream term for the common man to understand. Yeah. But I deal with a lot of folks with dementia and such. And one thing that really seemed to do something to the brain or to the spirit of the folks, especially the folks with dementia. I don't know if people know what dementia is, but dementia is something that takes away your mind. Your mind just starts to diminish, man. You forget who people are, and then slowly you forget who you are, and then your body and mind succumb to that. And it's pretty deep. I done seen a lot of our clients in different levels and different stages of this, but one common remedy that I found, and something that has a lot of scientific research to back it up, is the power of music. Once again, man, we put on a particular jam. There was this Isley Brothers song, man. I can't remember off the top of my head which jam it was, but this lady, I ain't never heard her speak a word in her life, man. And she started singing this song, and it blew my mind. I started seeing how people who had strokes, who couldn't talk fast like you and I are talking, or they speak before their minds can finish processing what's going on. And when the music came on, they were in tune, singing the music, man, note for note, chord for chord. And it was just so beautiful how the power of music really entered the body through the ears, and however else they tended to receive it. And it just showed the healing powers of music. I think we spoke about this a couple of weeks ago, especially about the frequencies, how there's different frequencies that we can line up to heal different natural disasters. Like, for example, the oil spill down in Louisiana, when BP spilled all that oil out there, it was coming down there and blasting like 900 something hertz down into these these oil slicks, man, and it was starting to dissipate or break down the oil, man.
Right.
Now, something with a type of power like that, you know, just imagine what it's doing to our bodies when we can't see it going on. But nonetheless, I thought it was beautiful to witness that, man. And every day I'm always keeping my eyes and my mind open, because you'll never know what you're going to catch a glimpse of, and how it can help you build and learn more each and every day, especially us as artists. You know, we learn from everything around us, whether the object is innate or it's not, you know, whether it's animated or unanimated, whether it's alive or it's dead, you know. I mean, we get so much inspiration from it all, man, and it's so therapeutic and healing. Music is a beautiful thing. It's a language of the world, in a sense, you know. It's a language that only us artists can understand, you know. And then when it comes to particular arts, only certain people can understand those arts, you know.
Right.
My man Will up here might draw a picture or put a graphic design out there, and he wrote it in a particular way, and that's how he perceived the message. But I may perceive it and receive a whole nother powerful message from it. Very ambiguous. Same with the beats. You too, Dre. I'll be listening to all of your beats, man. And don't cut me no slack for this, but I'll be writing to your beats, man. Look, man, I love them, man. I love them, brother.
That's what it's for.
Yes, sir, man. But
it's funny, like
Go
you
ahead.
say that. Even with like words too, I found that, because I write too. So, but sometimes I would write something. You know, I have a song or I make a song, and like the way you put words together, sometimes it's got like hidden meanings or something in it, but another person can hear those exact same combinations of words and they'll think of something totally different. And then they'll end up, you know, they'll tell me, oh, you know, well, this word, oh, and I'm like, oh, okay, I can see like where that makes sense too, but it works for you too, you know. So it's even like, it's almost in any type of art, you know, where you say like how you perceive it and, you know, how it's different, like anybody could like catch on to it. It's just that usually when I try to put stuff out, or when certain things come out, hopefully it all still comes from the same place. Yeah. So I'll put like positive stuff out, you know, even though we got different messages, it's a good message, you know, like on the, you know, from the same string. But I think that's just like he's, you know, like the energy of just, you know, music and art itself. It's way more than what you see or like what you hear. It's so much deeper than that. Like once you actually like get into it, it's amazing. You know, it's crazy.
Hey, while we on the subject of music right now, man, I want to ask you a quick question, Dre. You familiar with scales and chords and things of that nature?
Not as much as I used to be, like, because I took a couple of classes at like a community college before, and I was good with it. But then once I kind of got my own equipment, I just kind of was just going crazy, and I was just like doing everything from there. And then I started to sample, and I kind of got away from like, you know, the theory part of it. Right. But you know, sometimes I'll go back, but I'm more of an ear person.
Yeah, likewise.
But, you know, So it's kind
of. Nonetheless, the reason I bring this up, man, is there's always some numbers having to play significance somewhere in this world. I don't know what it is. Here we go with the numbers. This ain't the power of suggestion or persuasion or anything of that nature. But nonetheless, I want to share this with you, man. And this is not, we're not going to dive deep into the properties, and we're not going to get into the numerology of anything this evening time. But what we will touch on is the scale. And we're talking about chromatic, major scale, minor scale, then the whole scale. And then we got all these other scales that we could jump to, like the blues scale, the jazz scale. And they got so many different one of these. If you look on the MK3, they have that when you're going there playing different chords on the pad and you go to the keyboard, you could change the setting to major, minor, and it'll absolutely. So that's what this is about to reflect. So if anybody has a keyboard, especially if they out there tuning in, man, put the keyboard in front of you right now, or just kind of burn this in your head or write it down. I see somebody going for something, man. Hey, nonetheless, check it out here, man. So we're gonna look at what we call the chromatic scale. And if we think of the keyboard, you know, we see our white keys and we see our black keys, which would be like our semi notes or semitones. So when we look at the chromatic scale is, and this is in patterns or pairs of 7. Okay, so we're looking at 7 1. So it'll be on the keyboard. Any key that you press is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it'll be all of those in a row. You know, so even the white keys and the black keys as well. We go 1, and then touch the black key up there, and then touch the white key next to it, and then the black key again, and then we're just running the whole pattern into 7 keys on there. And that's going to give us our chromatic scale, no matter where we start on any instrument, or even, I'm just using the keyboard as an example, but it works the same way with a guitar. Yep. It works the same way with our MK3s. If we look on the pad just happens to be a square of 15 or 16 pads on there. Yep. I believe it is. I believe 16. It's 16 pads altogether. Yep. Absolutely. So it's kind of labeled out like that, especially when we change it to chromatic scale. So like I said, technology is doing the work for us once again. Absolutely. But right now we're giving we're giving an ancient history. We're giving an ancient lesson right now. You see?
Right. Yep.
Absolutely. Tune in. So the chromatic scale would be 7 1. So that'll be seven of those keys all in a row, no matter where you start. Then we're gonna jump to what we call the major scale. Okay, we all know the major scale, and all of these different scales, they can evoke different emotions or feelings from you. You know, think about when you're playing some major piano, or you're playing some major bass lines, or you're playing some guitar on the MK3 and such. They invoke these particular feelings or emotions, man, and that could definitely influence the way the song's gonna go, depending on what's going on in your day. Today might be a minor day, you know. It just everything around you feels like it's in the minor scale or the major scale. Or some days it's chromatic, some days it's blues. I mean, the list goes on. How the feelings start to resonate is beautiful. But nonetheless, we got chromatic down, those 7 1s in a row. Then we go to the major scale, which would be you touch 1 key. Then you count over 2 more keys. So you jump up to a black key, and then a white key would be your second one. That's where you put your next finger. Then 1. So it's 2 2 1, 2 2 2 1. Okay. So we see that if we're on the keyboard, boom, we're dropping all the fingers on there. Major is a pretty one to play with one hand. Then we jump to the minor scale, which is going to give us that more subtle note. Or I don't know. Let me ask you, before we continue to dive deeper into the scales, man. What kind of feelings or what kind of sounds do these particular scales bring to mind when you think of it? You know, like if you're playing a minor, what kind of emotion does that evoke in you? Is there anything that you could channel right off the jump? Excuse me.
I always find that a lot, because before I had my sampler, I would just do like a lot of like keyboard stuff. I always find myself going to like a minor type of song or a minor type of beat, like playing minor chords, just because those are the ones that hit. And it almost felt like I wanted to bring, not necessarily like sad, but I just wanted to bring something that's going to grab you. Like when you hear it, it's like, oh, you know, that, you know, because like you said, the major, you know, I remember like going back in like the classes, I would say like major is like happy, and then like minor is like sad, or, you know, whatever. But a lot of the stuff that I would kind of go for, and even when I sample, I find myself taking parts that have like minor notes in them, because I want to evoke some sort of emotion. I want to grab, you know, I rather, instead of you like, oh, that's a nice beat, I wanted to like grab you in the way you like, oh, you know, like I find myself going towards like minor type of stuff just because I think it brings out more emotion. That's all. Yeah.
Likewise, my brethren. Minor's always been a big favorite of mine. For some reason, it's just those subtle notes, those subtle tones that start to resonate with me a particular way, and they keep that subtle vibe, that subtle emotion, man. I wrote a cold ass piece to a minor scale, man, and that's how I know, man. That's my revelation that came out of the minor scale, is I wrote something super cold, and to me it's a hit single. I'm performing it live August 28th. Y'all come check me out. Vibrations. You know what I'm saying? Holla at me for tickets. Real talk. Absolutely.
Keep going.
Something holistic, man. And I'll keep it real. Look, man, there's no disrespect to anybody either, man. But you know, sometimes I like to bathe in a higher ego, man, because ain't nobody making music like I am out there, man. And when I seen everybody else coming on the stage, you know, I was expecting to hear some more conscious things, man. Meaning that people were more aware of what's going on in the world around with their surroundings and such. But I heard a lot of the same old dumb talk, man. Everybody, you know, me and my music, I try not to curse no more, man. If I could do that and make it friendly for your grandmother to listen to, man. You see? That's real talk, man.
There's so many words.
T-painting it up, huh?
Yeah, man. You understand, you know?
He
Clean
said
it up, man. The
T-Pain to do it.
grandmother. It's something serious, man. But yeah, I hear a lot of these other artists coming on the stage, man. Except for my homegirl, man, Sink, wonderful poet out of Chicago, man. Doing a thing. She came on the stage and rocked it as well, just like myself. But everybody else coming on there spitting the same trash, you know, cursing, calling each other out their name, this, that, and the other. And it's just crazy how the world is changing so rapidly like that, man. Everybody's just trying to fit in, it seems like, man. There's no creativity left, man. Everybody's trying to sound like this guy. Everybody's trying to sound like that guy. Once again, the T-Pain was ranting about that the other day. And I think maybe you and Andre, and maybe even all three of us, man, have probably ranted about this sometime in the distant past, man. This is nothing brand new, you know? This is nothing brand new. It just happened to be put out there.
When we were talking earlier, that's kind of what I was trying to say about kind of like New York. Yeah, I like how you said it. It's almost like trying to fit in. Yeah. So like a lot of people sound the same. Yeah. Like when I came up, that was a sin. You cannot sound like the next person whatsoever. So
you're getting kicked off the block.
Absolutely. You had to find some way, you know, even if you sounded similar, you got to do something different so that you don't want to be like that person. But where it comes in, and I think that's just a lot of in culture, period. I see it. I work with kids, been working with kids for a while. It's this, you just want to fit in. Right. You want to, whatever gets, you know, a lot of clicks, a lot of likes, whatever gets all the attention, like you just want the attention, you know. And it really, for me, it comes down to, you know, these kids not actually getting the attention that they want from the adults that they have in their life or stuff like that. But it like starts there, but you just see it transcend like in all these areas, in music, like on the streets, like all over, you know. And it's just hard, you know, like when you say like you go there to perform and you hear like all these other artists and they all like rapping like crazy, right? You know what I mean? And it's just like if you really was to like break down your life, like what's going on with you? Forget like what's going on out there, you know. Can we hear something, you know, about your day, about like what you go through, how you came up or something like that? Just a authentic experience, not just the same old thing. It's hard. It's hard to find it, you know, but
because we don't make and it's actually our fault. Because
I agree.
We buy it, right?
Yeah.
We go to the record store and we like, oh, dude, I'm gonna listen to no. I don't want to drop a whole bunch of names tonight, but we listen to
that was the past show,
right? The Littles, we call them that. The Littles, right? We listen to them. So if we perpetuate that action, then of course they're gonna keep putting out the same music because guess what? It's making them money. Yeah. But if we ever take that time out to really sit back and be like, I don't really like it, and just be willing to say I don't like it, and step away from it. Guess what? Somebody else might be like, you know what? I'm not a big Littles fan either. I'm gonna see myself out, and you get more artists like even what we listen to right now in the background. Like I've never heard this until today. It's something, whatever y'all put in the chat. It's some Russians, or are they Russian or are they from? I
believe the cat name is Beat Machine, and he from Germany, if I'm not mistaken.
Germany, dude. I've never listened to music from Germany. Until today. It's dope, and I'm loving it because it's got a lot of kick to it, but it's not like trying to hit me in the head with it at the same time. I didn't even know they made music in Germany. That's that's just me living in a bubble. But music is everywhere. But that just goes to show that it's not always about what's mainstream. It's about the other stuff, the stuff that doesn't hit the box office, the stuff that doesn't hit the charts, the stuff that don't even hit the record label. It's just stuff that's hey, this sound cool. I like it. I'm gonna play it. As simple as that. German. Wow.
I love the diversity, man. You know, it goes to show the power of culture, man. You know, music comes from culture, man. You know, and culture is a wonderful thing, man. It's something that I'm very fluent in, man. I love to be around the culture, man. Many types of culture, because it just allows me to grow into who I've become, man, and I get a better understanding of things. Everybody has a different kind of a music. Everybody has a different beat. Everybody has a different step, and it's just beautiful when we can use the platform, something like the internet, man, and use it for something great like that. That is very educatory for us as well, and very therapeutic, man, to be able to find all these different artists out there. Now we can know that there's more people out there that can relate to us, not through having a physical contact or meeting, but through sound, man. You know, through making music, man. Somebody halfway across the globe in a place like Russia or Siberia, you know, someplace in the tundra in the cold, man, could be making a beat right now, and you hear that one day, maybe it only got 10 views, but you was one of those 10 views, and it touched your soul so much that you went ahead and used that, and it took it to a whole nother level in your life, man. You know, it's a beautiful thing. I've come across many different sounds like that. The albums that I've composed in the past before I got my MK3 was the same way, you see. All of the beats that I came across, that I compiled for the album, Reap What You Sow, all of those fell into the category of reaping what you sow, meaning that what you plant in the ground is what you're going to reap. You're going to reap the fruits of your labor. And every song had a lesson because of the beat that was applied with it. And it's such a beautiful way to compose and to gather inspiration from a worldwide perspective like that. I really enjoy music for all of these particular reasons. And I encourage everybody out there, man, if you haven't already, man, step outside the box, man. Step outside the matrix that you're living in, man. And get in tune with some culture, man. Get back to the ancient ways, man. Overstand the ways of music, and understand the ways of our ancients, our ancestors, the way all of this stuff ties in, the way it's all connected, man, worldwide, man. You know, what we say is Rastafari, man. One love, one people, man. You understand? We all bleed the same blood, man. That's real talk at the end of the day. Everybody has a story of creation, man. Everybody has a theory about, you know, who's the superior people in this world, man. But we are superior, man. We bleed the same blood, man, except for a few who bleed some blue blood, man. And we know there's some wicked cats out there, man, that's controlling the music industry. You understand, man? Watch out. We put you on blast right now, man. One time for the one time,
you
man.
know what? Hey, for the longest time, I did not want to believe it, that there was just this, you know, this group that controlled what went out. And it wasn't until there was a group in Gary, Indiana. I can't remember their names, but they were basically,
what they called, man?
I can't remember that. It was a group. I can't remember their names.
What kind of music they was making? I could pull the name out.
Similar music to like Wu-Tang.
I don't know. We got two groups I can name for sure that I know came out of Gary in the 90s. Was a group called CCA, and then Concord affiliated from the Concord Apartments off of Clark Road over there, Road and like 15th Avenue. And then there was another one called Thugged Out. That's the last one that I remember. Yeah, that was 2000s.
It was definitely it was probably Concord, because I knew a couple of the guys. Yeah, I knew a couple of the guys.
They got locked up.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah, they got locked up because they was trafficking a lot of dope over there in the apartments over there, man. And Big Scheme, Vice Lord affiliated and such, man. So it was a big thing that went down like that. But they was one of the few that, you know, actually came out and I guess put Gary on the map just a little bit. Yeah, you know? A little bit. And like I said, I knew one of the guys in the group. We used to hang out in high school or whatnot. And here they are, you know, and I went to one of the concerts. Lo and behold, I wasn't a big concert fan. One of the cats' name was Eric. And the other one was G-Mac, I think.
Probably, man, it's been such a long time.
At least those were the names in the music industry. You might have known them a little more formally than that.
Yeah, but it was stripped out. Like he was telling me one day, man, that, you know, here they are recording and they starting to blow up in Gary, Indiana, and, you know, they starting to get ears, and then all of a sudden, you know, he said there was this dude that just kind of came to them and was like, hey, this is what we can do for y'all if y'all willing to do this.
Yeah, man.
And it was like, no, we don't want to do that. That's going to kind of tarnish the image. That's really not what we're about. And lo and behold, this was the dude that was about to put them on was like, you know, like the number 2 guy at like, you know, some big record label. And he would have took them to the top, but they would have to basically sell their soul. You know, and I was just like,
you got to bend over, man.
Yeah, you got
to bend over now.
It's true. Like, I don't want to get explicit, but that was like literally what they were saying.
That's right, brother.
You got to do this to get that.
Mm-hmm.
And they was just like, no, man, like it ain't even that serious. I mean, it would have probably been cool for them, but
yeah,
it would have been terrible. Like to think that here they are, this persona of who they are, and then to get it all flipped around because they want to become popular. So I'm happy that they didn't sell out. I'm not happy that they in jail right now. But, yeah,
right. The things that people do for money really appalls me, man. You know, to go out as much as selling themselves out, as much as selling out their people, creating a genocide, man. And that's what the music industry has been used as a weapon. At least the way that hip hop was converted into rap, or music with recording artists pretending in it. You understand the acronym for rap? You know, it's a wicked thing how that goes around, man. You know, and people got to be mindful of this, because this is going on in not just the rap industry, but it's also going on in other different genres of music as well, man. Especially these people who make it to mainstream platforms, man. There's a reason that folks like you and I haven't been allowed to reach a particular pinnacle yet, you know.
Absolutely.
Because if we got there, imagine the amount of change we can cause with our sound, with our voice, with our power. You know, we have a certain aura around us. You know, I can't feel y'all through the camera, but y'all understand what I'm saying. You walk into a room and people can feel your vibe, man. It's a powerful vibe, you know. Y'all have been around for a minute. Y'all understand exactly what I'm saying, man. And that's exactly the reason why they don't want us to get up there. What's going on, Will?
No, the tripped out thing is because of technology, though. The world had that world view is starting to shift now. You don't have so many brick walls that you run into. You don't have so many, things that you got to go through. Independent. I mean, I'm not talking about the independents that's like they doing their own thing. They out there selling their own. I'm talking about people that's legit. They doing their own thing, and they not trying to do what everybody else is doing. Like they putting their own music out on platforms, right? And they putting their own music out, and they don't care if nobody listens to it. I got a guy right now. He does not care if you listen to his songs or not. He just likes making music. He just likes making art. His passion. He just do it to be doing. He don't care who listen to it. And those are the people. And for him, like, I'm so grateful for it, because there was a time where if you didn't have some equipment or something, you couldn't make anything. But now you have such access to all of this technology and all these different apps. You can make what you want, and you can make what you feel, and feel good about yourself, and then go on about your day. And nobody ever has to know that it was made. You know, it's nice to get the recognition. Right. That's not what we're making this art for. That's not that's not why I draw pictures. I don't draw because I want you to be like, oh, dude, that's dope. Can I have it? No, I draw it because that's how I feel on the inside. That's what you make your music. Not because you want somebody to pick it up and give you $1 million. Right. That's nice. But you shouldn't be making anything or recreating anything that God has given us for personal gain. It should all be so that you become a better person at it. You become something greater at it. And if God allows someone else to hear your work and they're inspired by it, then so be it. And then you make the next thing, So and I think that's what makes great artists. I think let me just throw that in. That's what makes great artists. There are artists that just don't care what anybody thinks. They like, I'm making what I'm making, period. Like, great artists. But that's my rant for today.
That's the motto I kind of went for. You kind of, being in music for a while, you kind of go through phases, and then you get to a point where it's like, I would like more people to listen to it, but then you have to reach and you have to chase it. Then once you start chasing it, it doesn't become fun anymore, and then it's like, why am I doing this? And then you fall out of love with it, So then I had to reel myself back in. Yeah. And, I find the projects that I love or stuff that I put out is stuff that I don't have any like definite set ways that I want to. I just do it because I want to do it. Yeah. And I do it and I say, you know what? This, as far as this has to go, is me liking it. That's as far as it got to go. Right. As soon as I make it and I like it, I win.
Yeah.
I win. If I put it out there, if somebody else like it, somebody can feel the energy from it, that's great, you know, but I've win as soon as I made it and I just felt it works for me. And that's it. That's a win for me. I just let it go from there.
Hey, brother, I feel the beats you making. I feel that. I see the way that you be vibing in the Instagram videos. I'm vibing just like you too. Vibing just like you. See.
I'm waiting to hear the collab. I don't know about y'all, but I'm like I'm looking at
my coming very soon.
Yeah,
coming soon. You understand? Hey, listen, my brother Dre. I'll tell something up, man. If you haven't heard my music already, man, hey, man, I'm gonna put you on this.
I've been listening. Yes.
Definitely. Okay. Respect, man. I got some serious things, man. Trust me, that music right there from 2 years ago, man. I've evolved so much in the past year. There's so much more knowledge out there for me to gain, man, and so much for me to say. That's why I have notebooks full of songs that I've composed or just verses that I've written, depending on how I'm feeling a certain day, man. All of this stuff can be compiled over the course of time. And I got some brilliant ideas as well, man. A lot of your beats, they be inspiring me as well. That's why I said I'll be writing to them, man, because they got that sound that I'm looking for. You know, they're different than the YouTube beats, and they're different than what the industry making. You know, and to me that's very important, man. I like the diversity there. You got very diverse choices of sounds, and I think that's important for any producer. Find your sound, find your instruments, man, that correlate with you, man. And I see exactly where you're going. You got that real beautiful boom bap feeling, but you make it futuristic at times too, and that's why I really like it to go almost space age in a sense, man. Them space sounds, you know, it's something deep. I really love it and vibe to it. The last compilation, Star Voyage,
Star Traveler, that one,
Star Traveler. Nonetheless, that whole entire tape right there, man, was very inspirational and very heartfelt for myself. I really felt that in my soul, you know. Absolutely, every song it was a progression. It took me on a journey, you know, and it was very beautiful. And I started writing some deep music to that stuff. And like I said, the music is. The verses that I write very ambiguous as well, so that I could just not only take them from that, but I could put them on any other track, or I could go like what I'm gonna do August 28th. I'm not gonna tell y'all. Well, actually, I'm gonna tell y'all my lineup, man. So I got, hey, brethren. So I got some verses that I wrote in the past, man, and I'm going ahead and put those on a YouTube track that I just found. And I'm not using it for I'm only using it for promotional reasons, you know, to go ahead out there and vibe out, but to show my versatility as well. So I'm about to take that whole entire song and put it on a whole nother beat, and it sounds so beautiful. And then the next progression is a step up, you know, the vibe about to be a little more up tempo. Then the last one, hey man, it reels you in, bring you back home, man, and it's very, very powerful, man. It's something serious, especially the way that music can take you on a journey like that. I think it's important to tell a story because everybody has a story to tell. You understand?
Yeah,
we're going to be beautiful, man. Nonetheless, just wanted to share my kudos for you, man, on the music making. You know, artist to artist, producer to producer, man.
Absolutely, we definitely going something. We gonna do something. It's inevitable.
Hey, I'm waiting.
It's there.
Hey man, you already know. I'm gonna find one of those beats. I'm gonna find one of those beats, man, and I'm gonna link you for that, man.
Okay,
listen, man.
Just let me know. Just let me know.
Collab, man. You send it my way, man. I take care of compensation, and I put it together, man. And hey, man, I don't know how you look at this. I'm gonna ask you a question right now, especially for anybody out there in the music industry or people who are into making records and collabing, and looking at things from a business perspective. You know, like when it comes down to reaping a percentage of benefits that come through when you collab with folks onto a track. So let me ask you with this question: when you go to collaborate with an artist, since you're the producer and maybe sometimes the engineer, maybe not the engineer, how do you go ahead and structure that, I guess, quote unquote contract that we would call it? You know, how would those benefits be reciprocated to you or be split between you and the artist that's utilizing your music?
Usually, like now, it kind of depends on like what it's for. Like there's a couple of people that I've worked with, you know, they've had things and they just wanted to do like quick little verses or whatever. So like a 16, you know, bars or something, I would just like let them have the track for whatever. But then other times people who just like wanted beats, you know, I would just like charge like just a standard fee. I wasn't doing like I used to do like, you know, the beat stars and like the contracts and stuff like that.
Right.
On the sites, but then I didn't really want to sell beats that much. So I was just kind of, it was just
sound like me.
Right. And there were just people who I would just put my music out there, and then people who would just, ask me like, do I sell? Instead of kind of just selling to everybody, I just kind of would find people who would just, if you heard it and you liked it, so then we would do it from there.
Yeah.
Or like more recent, I've had it to where like if we can put something out like on a stream, and like if we both have like a distro kid, then we would just split the stream like 50-50 or whatever like that.
Yeah.
So you can just, when you put it out, it would just they do all the numbers for you, whatever. So it's kind of like there's different ways to do it, and then there's producers who do have like beat stores and stuff like that, but there's a whole bunch of different ways. I think it's just good to, if you can actually get in contact with the person and kind of talk it out, you know what I mean? Instead of kind of just, let me just buy this beat. Or some people, they just take people's beats and stuff, you know what I mean? Like some people are willing to like work with you if you just let them know you're using their stuff instead of just snatching it and not giving any credit. A lot of producers, they want the credit, man. Like they want my name somewhere. Right, just give me the credit.
Pay me.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of like different ways, but I think the best thing is like the contact and the communication, because then you can kind of figure out like exactly what you're using it for, and once you get to an agreement of like what you're going to use it for, then you can kind of go from there. My main thing is just like the contact and actually talking to
the communication.
Yeah.
Overstood. That was enough respect, man, because I got very similar views, man. It's all about that communication. It's always key, man. And we always see a lot of groups or a lot of record deals collapse for that particular reason, man. People aren't clear about the terms that's being structured inside of these contracts. They don't read, they might come bring you a book that's 10 pages long and tell you to read through it, and people just hurry up and sign it, I used to do stuff like that, man. Not in the music industry, but I used to just get something and then just sign it. And then I started to understand that, hey, what am I signing? I need to read a little bit deeper. There's always a hidden passage in there that'll say, hey, we get 100% of the proceeds, and you get nothing, and you didn't see that, but you signed it still.
What was that?
We see a lot of people becoming slaves to the record labels or slaves to the industry like that, man, and it's very unfortunate. But a lot of these young folks are chasing that dollar, man. You're chasing the purple dragon in a sense, You're chasing the purple dragon. You're chasing something that is never gonna. Yes, you overstand the same way, man. That's exactly how it works,
He got a bad contract from what I heard. It was just
man.
Because I just watched just a little bit of it. Like the way that the contract is structured is that he produces the music, and they gave him upfront, right? Yep. And we'll just say it's like $3 million, right? Upfront. Like with signing bonus, you get the signing bonus, $3 million, you famous, blah blah blah. And this is how like most rap contracts go.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what they do on the back end is that now they got you for the next 10 years.
Yeah, man.
You got to produce so many records in 10 years, and guess what? That $3 million ain't nothing compared to the amount of music that you about to put out. You about to put out $30 million worth of music, and you only getting $3 million. Yeah. And most of that you already spent, because guess what? You got to split that between you got to split that between your producers, your manager. You might walk away with $100,000. They're gonna
take taxes out of it.
Taxes, security guards, all of these different people, and for what? So you can get your name out there and be the next star. Guess what? You did nothing, man. So what was the whole point? And I get it. It looks nice, but we gotta take that time out, like you said, Marley, and read the contract. Read what are we getting into, because now you're just putting out content that's all gonna be trash. You're not gonna be creative anymore. Because he was at one point in time, I used to actually like Lil Yachty, right? I used to listen to a lot of his music, but it just started getting to a point where it was like, nah. No,
you're just throwing stuff together just to get rid of the contract. So your heart ain't in it, and you just trying to get out of the deal, man.
That's a terrible thing, man.
Yeah,
that's a terrible thing.
Absolutely, that's like working a job you don't like to work, man. Right. Why are you there? You question it every day. Why the heck am I here right now, man? Some folks just want to throw in the towel and go, man, but you can't do that. You bound to somebody else now, man. You know, this is modern day slavery once again. Look, man, we always try to say that slavery ended, man, especially when Juneteenth came around. Everybody's celebrating the end of slavery, but they're misinterpreting what Juneteenth is, man. You know, that's when the soldiers came to tell the folks on the plantation that, hey, the war was over, man. Everybody in the North is free, man. So people started making a migration like that. It was never because slavery was emancipated, man. Slavery had only evolved. You know, we were so naive back then, you know. And I don't even like to say that about our ancestors, because who could really say that that's what they was thinking, man? See, we're gonna dive into a whole next level of this, man. So I'm just gonna say it like this, man. You know, a lot of things to me are choice, and you know, if you don't read between the lines, if somebody told you, hey, you know, do this and do that, and you don't read between the lines, man, what do you expect to happen? There's repercussions for every single action, you know? That's just the way the universe works. And I feel like it's important for everybody to be mindful, man, and think, you know? Make sure you think for yourself. Don't be listening to what somebody tells you, man, and just take it for face value. We have to go out there and do our research at the same time, you know? If you're not comfortable with signing something, make sure you go out there and do your research, or find somebody that's a scholar, man, or find an elder that has some experience in this who can interpret these particular lines or messages in there, these subliminal messages, man, that's going ahead and telling you, hey, you're selling off your life, you know? You're gonna go ahead and sign that contract like Will was saying, and you're gonna be guaranteed $3 million, but you have to go, and plus you're gonna spend it on cars, a house, vacation trips, this, that, and the other, gold and jewels and this, that, and the other, all these materialistic things, and then you're gonna get caught up in that. But then what happens after that? You have to go out there, you have to go book so many shows, man, to make that money back. That's $3 million to you, but they borrowing you that money. This is like a bank, man. Nobody wants to see this as a business, man. Everybody get blinded by the light. And I think it's very unfortunate. So that's why we're preaching the good message right now. For anybody who listening out there, man, any kind of an artist, if you're going to sign a contract, man, make sure you read deep, man, and make sure you do it at your own will, man. You know, don't let somebody else tell you what to do. Make sure you make your own conscious decision. As human beings in this world, one great thing that we have is choice. We have freedom of choice in this world, man. You could choose if you want to do this, that, and the other. We know what all the repercussions are for each of our actions. So make sure that we break them down and stay organized like that. We have to move in strategy and not in such a tactical manner. You know, tactical meaning we just run in and storm the building. Strategy meaning that we have plans A, B, C, and D if anything goes left or right. So I think it's very important to stress that, man, because I've seen one too many people fall victim to that, man, and have to, you know, sit under that umbrella for the whole entire year until you get out of that contract, man. You know, that's a year gone that you lost, you know. And a lot of these record labels, man, one second, Will, I'm gonna let you jump in. Let me say this last piece. A lot of these record labels, they tell you what they want you to drop. You don't have no more control, and you probably signed on the dotted line disclosing that, you know, that they have control of what you're making. If they see the industry going this way with all this wicked sound of music and pumping guns in the music videos and showing all these, I heard somebody say the other day, because they got busted by the police, they were like, oh, all the stuff in the video was props that I bought from eBay, man. I said I can't believe it, man. You're gonna use an excuse like that, but I just seen you last week in the streets, man, and you was using all of those things, and you had a big old toolie on the hip with an extended clip. Come on now, you know, you ain't fooling anybody. You incriminating yourself like that. But they do it to these young boys who have no mind, and they're exploiting them, especially a lot of black youth, man, a lot of different cultures within the communities, man, all across, man, where hip hop is, well, excuse me, I gotta bite my tongue on that, where rap music is present, because hip hop is not what's being made today, man. This is not hip hop right now, man. The sound, the frequency of it is nothing like that, man. And all of the elders in the game, they need to be stepping up, man, because I'm going to say that you one of the problems. You one of the ones to blame. Y'all had let this happen like that, man. Where the OGs at, man? Not just in the streets, but in the record industry, man. Y'all got all this money. Why ain't you got nothing to show for it, man? You ain't got no schools open, no recording studios for the youth to come in there and start learning music and start to build. Get them out the streets, get them away from all the wickedness. Instead, you just promoting that or taking a back seat and not doing the damn thing, man. And I find that very unfortunate. To me, that's showing how weak you are, man. You know, that money got you a slave, man. You over there bending over for the white man, but you ain't taking control of your own peoples, man. Everybody got an excuse, man, but we can't be using excuses no more, man. We have to be them revolutionaries. To me, if I were to read the biblical text, man, the Yeshua that I know was a revolutionary, man.
Yeah.
He wasn't like the man that everybody sees him to be, man. He was going in there kicking down doors and saving people, man, and changing water to wine over here, man, to give people, I mean, my goodness, man. How can we not?
Right.
That's what I'm saying, man. He was a revolutionary, a freedom fighter, man.
Absolutely.
He wasn't such a passive individual like everybody passed him off to be. This guy, this peace and love. Yeah, he was about peace and love, but he came at it in a different manner, man. He was there to take care of the people. He was there for the people. He never wanted to see his people go down in shambles like that. But who was it that stabbed him in the back, man? His own people, man.
His own people. Yeah.
And isn't it so wicked like that?
Just out there.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it so wicked like that, man? And this reflects on us modern day. Look, man, we only diving into one of these into one of these particular spiritualities, man. But there's so many other ones that touch on this in a deeper level. Maybe we just can't translate it right now because it's a little foreign to us, or the text is a little diluted because we don't understand the dialect. But there's many other texts that teach these same lessons. There's always a particular figure, man. There's always these Christ-like figures, man. Christ means the anointed one, If you were the anointed one, what's that mean? That means you were the holy man. You were the one that was touched by the hand of the Creator, the Most High, man, the Almighty. You see what I'm saying? So there's been many people with that Christ consciousness or that Christ spirit within them, man. And I feel like it's our duty to go ahead and, if you got that in you, if you was born in that with it innate, go ahead and find it, man. Discover it and utilize it, man. But if you're in a position in your life where you're questioning a lot of things, man, hey, man, find that spirit, find that Christ-like being within you, man, and go ahead and channel that energy, man, and get out there and be a revolutionary, man. Fight for your people and fight for what is right, man, for what is morally right, man. We need to have morals and principles in this lifetime, which is being lacked, especially as it trickles down to the youth, man. Nonetheless, that's my rant right there, but enough respect, man. Rastafari.
Oh, man. Let's start wrapping it up, man. It's time for dinner. I don't know about y'all.
Hey, man, likewise, my brethren. Hey, Will, one thing I do want to say, man, is, hey, maybe I need to get with Mary, Miss Selena K. Maybe I need to get with her during the week and try to figure out what's going on with this feedback on my end. Like I said, the camera wasn't working on my phone and stuff like that. Worst case, I use this phone, my old phone, but I'd like to use my new phone. You understand what I'm saying? Better quality and such like that.
You getting feedback from
Come again?
Right now?
No, but I'm saying for the future, like I don't understand why I wasn't able to get in through it from my phone, man, from my other phone. I came in there and I was able to see y'all, but I wasn't able to pop up and be on the screen and interact with y'all. My camera and my mic were working on my end, but it wasn't working on y'all end. So I don't know what that was, but I'll get with Mary a little bit later on this week, and we'll try to solve the issue. If not, I'll be back on this phone, and we'll be in for a much better show next week. When it comes to my end, the show is always great, man. We out there, spitting philosophy, man, putting music theory and different thought patterns, inspiring people's brainwaves, man. We'll get hangry. Yeah, I know he's getting hangry up there. I see his eyebrows going down, man. Belly rumbling, man. I'm right behind him, my bridging. It's been a long work day. I'm working out in this 90-degree heat. It's a hot one out this way today. Hey, man, but nonetheless, give thanks for everybody tuning in, man. It was a nice, wonderful show again. Sorry for the technical difficulties on my end. I'll be back next week with y'all, man. More fruitful than ever. We'll have some more knowledge to drop. We got a couple of things new that I want to bring up next week as well, man. So stay in tune. I ain't going to disclose what it is, man. Just keep y'all mind sharp and keep it ready, man, because we about to make it happen here on RockTrue Beatz. You already know what it do. Marley King, my man Dre, or Dot is the name up there in my top right. My man Will Be Done. Yes, sir, my brethren. Hey, man, until next Tuesday, 7 p.m., RockTrue Beatz. Peace and one love. We out.
Peace, everybody.